Welcome back in, guys. Trey Lowell here with Lowell Productions. Today's video, I'm going to be joined by a good friend of mine who also happens to be a photographer, Joshua Taft. Now, he's been working on his portfolio and went ahead and reached out and asked if I'd be interested in some headshots and some branding shots. So when Josh arrived, we originally went ahead and set up for the podcast, spent about an hour and a half filming, editing, shooting all of that, which then led to the headshots that he was here for. Now, I've got to be honest with you, you guys can see here in the BTS camera, this is the YouTube space for Lowell Productions. And one thing that we wanted to get in regards to branding, photography, and even headshots was everything being featured in the YouTube space. So here are some examples of what he came up with here. So after we got done taking those photos, while we were both excited, there was no way we were going to just settle for one background. So we did a little bit of thinking and rearranging, and then it led us to this kind of YouTube set behind us. Now, you guys are probably watching the real-time setup of it, and this is something that I tend to use for YouTube frequently, but I had never done any headshots here. Now, one thing we had to experiment with was distance. Also, he needed to figure out what his focal length was going to be because we are in a kind of confined space, and also we were trying to get fancy with the lights here. Now, as you guys can see in some of the photos that we've taken, spacing and things of that and your lines are really going to be key. Now, Josh was kind of working back and forth, making me stand up on an Apple box, also coming in, zooming out. We also even added some fog, really just to see what we could capture in this particular space. So we went ahead and did the whole red and blue, and we really liked that. But that, once again, was just not going to be enough. So then, with a little bit more thinking and rearranging, we then switched over to the two LEDs crossing. Now, one thing that was going to be kind of interesting and different with that was we were taking away the colors, and we were also trying to kind of bring our background to life, but also light our subject a little bit different as well. So you might be wondering, why in the world would I even want to do a video about this? Well, really, the whole point of this video was to give you guys really like a BTS look and kind of seeing two guys show up. We knew what the end goal was. We didn't have a complete plan of attack or strategy of how we were going to do it. We just knew this is the deliverables that we wanted. Spent a few hours together, chatted on the front end about the podcast, got the creative juices flowing even more, started moving things around, and little by little did we see that it was all coming together. And before you know it, a few days later, I'm looking at these photos and I'm super pumped at the results, which is why I ended up making this particular video. Because I just want to encourage you guys that sometimes, whether it's yourself or with others, you just need to experiment. Go ahead and jot down what you want to achieve, but don't get caught up on how you're going to achieve it so much. I do think you need to have a little bit of an approach. You don't need to go in completely blind, but I think you just need to be a little open to understanding that you're not going to have the biggest room in the world. The light sometimes may work or may not. Your subject may be too short or too tall. In my case, too short, which is why we brought out the Apple box for me to stand on. It wasn't even an Apple box. It was actually just a random box that I had found in my basement. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of an insight into how we approach this. I know it wasn't a step-by-step, but you guys got to see the behind-the-scenes footage of how we were kind of moving things around, how we were even changing the lighting, what Josh was doing moving around, how I was moving forward, changing positions, you name it. And overall, I hope you guys found this useful. And if so, hey guys, it's Trey Lowell with Lowell Productions. And as always, if you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Woo! Man, we've been making a lot of video recently.
But I know for sure the day will come when you first realize what you have done, and you finally get your debt repaid and revenge is served on a cold plate.